Hi YouTube, Mochismo Eugene. Welcome to another video from Exit Strategy. I wanted to discuss endorsing and co-signing the smear campaign for the narcissist. Whether we know it or not, or whether we were conscious of it in times past, and even sometimes now, we indirectly co-sign and endorse the narcissist smear campaign against other people. Unbeknownst to us, that's what we're doing when we casually listen to the narcissist talk about something, talk down about someone specifically, many times in detail, in a backbiting, gossiping way, say in the break room at work or at a restaurant with friends, girlfriends or guy friends. You probably would recognize this scenario when you think back. This person comes in, they start talking a mile a minute about a situation, or it just casually comes up when the person name comes up, and they will weasel themselves in a conversation of sorts, and they will make a statement about what they either heard or a definitive statement of what this person is or what this person has done. And it's secondhand information in a lot of cases. It's not always a narcissist that's doing this, but I would encourage each one of you empaths and chosen ones going forward today, make a conscious effort not to endorse or co-sign for any potential smears, because back to point, when that person begins to speak about this situation regarding this individual or individuals, depends on what it is, in our nodding of our head, in our inquisitiveness, either by verbal asking or our inquisitiveness by us giving them our undivided attention, this is in this subtleness that we're endorsing and we're co-signing that smear, because what that person is actually doing is trying to get you on the cheerleading squad with them to cheer against or even cheer for this person's demise. They're trying to shirt go wet, I guess. So they are trying to persuade you of this statement that they're making, this half-truth, untruth, this secondhand information. And let's say, for sake of conversation, it may even be something that's true about this individual. Empaths, chosen ones, we do not pride ourselves in going around spreading news about other people in a negative, bad way. But in times past, we've all been guilty of just being a partaker or a spectator in this gladiator sport of sorts. We may not have been that person who was talking, leading the show or running the show, but we were in that bus. We were on that bus. And so that makes us, I don't want to say guilty by association, because to be in a setting with someone and they begin to speak about something or another about somebody else, that comes out of left field. That's something that you can't control. But what you can control is how attentive you are to that conversation. And going forth, I would just suggest, look off like you're not even bothered by anything they're saying. It doesn't look off with a very unconcerned look. And many times if you're going to stare at them out of respect, you can stare at them and kind of just in that grouping, just kind of just look and listen. Don't nod. in agreement, don't nod this way, don't nod that way. You just casually look at them, pick your drink up, drink it, continue to remain silent. Because if in fact this is a narcissist on the smear campaign, don't endorse them. Don't endorse them. They don't need your vote. They don't need your vote. And this is how the narcissist can leverage the smear campaign. And this, as a matter of fact, this is how he or she does leverage. And it's so effective, the smear campaign, because of the reasons I just pointed out. We're unknowingly, subconsciously, and sometimes directly, if not indirectly, are endorsing and giving our sign of approval because we're nodding, we're inquisitive, we are partaking in that conversation. We're actually involved in that conversation. We're giving them our undivided attention, and in our body language, we are showing them that we are hook, line, and sinker. Now, in silence, like I said, they can go on and believe they got you hook, line, and sinker all they want. But one thing you can pride yourself in and feel good about is the fact that you did not endorse or sign off or co-sign for that smear. And it boils down to picking our groups like we pick our fruit. I once was told, pick your friends like you pick your fruit. The Bible says you will know those by their fruit. And so if a person always talking about somebody and putting somebody down, trying to prop themselves up, you know that that's one of the primary signs and indicators that that person both has low self-esteem, they're inferior, and they ain't got nothing really going on in their own life. So, and the narcissist somewhere right now, they're projecting and they'll say, well, that's what we're doing here. But we don't pay that no mind. We know what we're doing. We're exposing their asses right and left because they're copiers, they're infiltrators, they're fugitives that are running from justice. And they need someone to co-sign for their BS. They need someone to endorse their BS. And they're the prime suspect in the crime. And what they're doing is trying to establish an alibi. So when everything hits the fan, they're not a primary suspect. They're not brought under scrutiny. Everybody's looking at other people or other things. And the suspect is right in front of them, you know, and that's kind of how you look at a narcissist. They are always on the run. I've noticed post-awakening, even as far back as 2020 when I first woke up. In the comments, let me know if any of you guys have noticed this. And this is just not one or two people. It has been multiple people who I have discovered when I woke up. You know, when you wake up, you sort of like see people and you indicate right away that's a narcissist. And all this time I've known them and been acquainted with them. And they may not have caused you any harm. But what my point is, I've noticed that these specific particular people that I have indicated as being narcissists, they have not only moved from a different location in the area, many of them have moved out of the state. Now, I don't know. I don't believe in coincidences. What I do believe is because when you awaken, you begin to start talking different, acting different, moving different, as I've pointed out in many videos before, and a lot of us have as well. And when you begin to do that, your verbiage, your whole conversation, and your whole dialogue is different. They sense that, and I believe the narcissist becomes petrified. If they'll up and move and sell their whole house Not so much for just that reason, I believe. I don't think single-handedly you made them move or we made them move. It's a combination of things because they're burning bridges right and left on a daily. So I think that in conjunction, you awakening and you talking and speaking differently, that in conjunction with other areas of their life in which they've smeared people and the smear didn't take hold. They couldn't convince people. Somehow or another, that person might have got the word out about the narcissist before they began to smear them. That happens sometimes, when people may initially find out they're no good. A lot of us can put it in context. And a lot of times we're fortunate, unbeknownst to us, that person receives what we tell them for what it is. And they begin to start paying the narcissist attention. And so the narcissist, for multiple reasons, as I just said, you woke up, then other people they've burnt bridges with. It's kind of like they owe everybody in the neighborhood. So now they have to take off and leave people high and dry, because in essence, it may not be financial. And a lot of times that's it. They will owe you money. They will burn many people. Oh, they are Ponzi schemers. Most Ponzi schemers are narcissists. So anyway, con artists. So they have ruined relationships in other areas, along with you waking up and they now see you. So what I'm actually saying, they're running into different people who God has simultaneously awakened to their BS. May not have awakened all of them in the sense of how the chosen ones and empaths that are here particularly have woken up. But I think far and wide, empaths, generally speaking, are waking up. All of us may not be fully awake, but we're in the loop because it's God's will that happens. And so these narcissists bounce, man. As I said in the comment, please let me know if you have felt, noticed, and observed multiple people. I would say at least 10 people, themselves, their family, they moved. And I know with inflation, I know post-pandemic, where I live here in upstate New York, a lot of people are just moving to different areas. So there could be, it's a very, very small potential chance that it just happened to be the case with a lot of people moving just because. But I'm telling you, all of these people who I have noticed have moved have been narcissists. And so I don't think it's just, I don't just think it's a coincidence. That's a hunch I have. That's a theory I have. They are runners, man. So they may not just be running from the fact that you've woken up, and you may not even be using the word narcissist. And sometimes they have gotten wind that you're talking about this newfound thing about energy vampires. You could be dropping little tidbits of code to which the narcissist knows these little code words. Start talking energy vampire, just nonchalantly say, man, you know what? I'm protecting my energy. You could be saying something as subtle as that. Narcissist knows right away. Wow. Even if they don't surmise you are awake, they know that you know some words that are interconnected to someone that has the cheat sheet on who they are and the behavior of the opposite of someone who's empathetic is energy vampire. And so they begin to believe that you're probably talking directly about them. So that's the panic in them. They are paranoid. They are paranoid. That's why in relationships, they run. They run as soon as you start setting boundaries and start standing on business and being about what you're about, because you're consistently being authentic. And now the jig is up. They begin to become all sorts of exposed phony. phony to begin with, but exposed phony now. And they don't know how to compensate for this. They actually don't know, because in their mind, they're fretful. They don't know which way to go. Oh, should I continue to be fake? Oh, I am fake. Should I try to be real or genuine? I don't know how to be real or genuine. So this is that panic. This is that conflict that goes on in their head. The authenticity that they try to pretend they have, that's even fake itself. So they're actually mimicking behaviors that they have seen somebody else demonstrate. And a lot of times they just get bits and pieces of that role or that skit of sorts that they see that authentic person betraying. And so sometimes they'll forget their lines. The narcissist will forget their script. And so don't endorse, don't co-sign for the smear campaign. That being said, bless.